Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be tackling something that can seem a little bit intimidating at first.
Yeah.
We're talking about segregated funds. We're going to break down what they are, how they work, what makes them unique, and who they might be a good fit for. You might be surprised to learn that they're not just for people planning for retirement.
Right.
Even if you're younger, there might be some serious benefits worth considering. So let's dive in.
Sounds good. So one of the things that's really fascinating about segregated funds is they offer this kind of intriguing blend of growth potential, but with security too.
Okay.
It's like trying to combine the best of both worlds. You get to participate in the market's upside, but you also have this added comfort of knowing a portion of your investment is protected.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, but I have to admit the term segregated funds still sounds a little, well, intimidating to me.
Yeah.
Did you break it down for us? What exactly are we talking about here?
Absolutely. Think of a segregated fund like a hybrid investment. It combines the growth potential of a mutual fund with the security of an insurance policy.
Okay.
So you're essentially pooling your money with other investors, and that pool is managed by experts who try to grow your investment over time. But here's the thing. You also have an insurance policy wrapped around a portion of that investment, usually between 75% to 100%, guaranteeing that you won't lose everything if the market takes a downturn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like having a safety net built right in.
Exactly.
It does sound pretty reassuring, especially in today's kind of unpredictable market.
For sure, yeah.
But I'm guessing that extra layer of security comes at a cost, right?
You're absolutely right. There are fees associated with segregated funds, just like any other investment product. But it's important to keep in mind that you're paying for that peace of mind that comes with knowing a portion of your investment is protected no matter what the market throws your way. And there's this other really unique feature that I think really sets segregated funds apart, and that's the ability to actually lock in gains as your investment grows.
Wait, locking gains. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so imagine your segregated fund investment's doing really well, like it's worth significantly more than when you initially put the money in.
Okay.
With some of the policies, you actually have the option to reset the guaranteed amount to that higher value. It's kind of like taking a snapshot of your investment at its peak and then ensuring that even if the market were to dip later on, you're still protected up to that new higher amount.
That sounds incredibly powerful, especially for someone who's maybe a little more risk averse or wants to safeguard their hard-earned savings. But you mentioned earlier that there are different levels of guarantees. Can you maybe elaborate on those a little bit more?
For sure. So when you invest in a segregated fund, you're typically given a choice between different guarantee levels for both maturity and death benefits. These guarantees essentially mean that if, at the time your investment matures, or unfortunately you pass away, and the investment is worth less than that guaranteed value, the insurance company steps in to top it up to that amount.
Okay, so let's say I chose a 75% maturity guarantee.
Right.
Does that mean no matter what happens in the market, I'm guaranteed to get at least 75% of my original investment back when the fund matures?
Exactly. And the same principle would apply to the death benefit guarantee. Let's say you have a 100% death benefit guarantee. If you were to pass away, your beneficiaries would receive the full amount you initially invested, even if the market had declined in value.
Wow, those guarantees really do provide a lot of peace of mind, especially for people who are concerned about market volatility or want to make sure their loved ones are taken care of. But you mentioned earlier that segregated funds aren't just for people approaching retirement.
Yeah.
Who else might benefit from these types of investments?
You're absolutely right. There's a misconception that segregated funds are only suitable for older investors, and that's simply not true. They can be a really great option for younger investors as well, especially those who are just starting out and want to maybe dip their toes into the market without taking on too much risk.
Yeah, I can see how that would be appealing.
Right.
Knowing that a portion of your investment is protected, regardless of what the market does, that could make investing feel a lot less daunting for someone who's maybe new to the game.
Yeah.
But aren't there a lot of other investment options out there that offer some sort of downside protection?
Yeah.
What makes segregated funds stand out from the crowd?
One key differentiators is that they really do offer this unique combination of features. So you get that growth potential of a mutual fund, the security of the insurance guarantees, and the ability to lock in gains as your investment grows, all in one package. It's like a multi-tool for your investment portfolio.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about guarantees and growth potential and even the ability to lock in gains. But what about flexibility?
Right.
Are you kind of locked into a specific investment strategy with segregated funds, or do you have options?
That's another really common misconception, that segregated funds lack flexibility.
Okay.
The reality is that they offer a wide range of investment options to suit different risk tolerances and financial goals.
Mm-hmm.
So you can choose from various asset classes, different management styles, and even different geographical regions.
Right.
It's all about tailoring your portfolio to meet your specific needs.
So it's not like putting all your eggs in one basket.
No, no.
You can diversify your investments within that segregated fund structure.
Precisely. You can spread your investments across different asset classes like stocks, bonds, and real estate,
Right.
and even invest in different sectors or geographical regions to kind of help mitigate risk.
This is starting to paint a clearer picture for me.
Hmm.
So it sounds like segregated funds could be a good fit for a wide range of investors, from those who are seeking growth to those who maybe are prioritizing security a little bit more.
For sure.
But I'm also curious about their role in estate planning.
Right.
Can you maybe shed some light on that aspect?
Absolutely. Segregated funds offer some really valuable features when it comes to estate planning, and I think one of the most significant ones is the ability to bypass probate.
Now, probate can be a bit of a mystery for some people.
Yeah.
Can you explain how segregated funds help in that area?
Yeah, so probate is basically the legal process of distributing assets after someone passes away.
Okay.
And it can be a really lengthy and often expensive process.
Right.
But with segregated funds, that death benefit bypasses probate altogether, and it goes directly to your named beneficiaries.
So it streamlines the entire process and can save your beneficiaries a lot of time, money, and potential headaches.
Exactly. And I think there's also this added layer of privacy with segregated funds.
Yeah.
Unlike a will, which becomes public record during probate, your beneficiary designations on a segregated fund policy are kept confidential.
Yeah, that level of privacy can be really important to some people,
Right.
especially those with blended families or maybe unique estate planning needs.
For sure.
But before we move on, there's one more aspect of segregated funds that I wanted to touch on, and that's creditor protection.
Right.
Something I've heard mentioned before, but I'm not entirely sure how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Can you demystify that for us?
Yeah, you're right to bring that up. It's a crucial aspect of segregated funds, especially for business owners or individuals who just really want to safeguard their assets. Essentially, creditor protection means that if you were to face a lawsuit or bankruptcy, your investments within that segregated fund could be shielded from creditors.
So it's like creating a financial firewall between your personal savings and potential liabilities.
That's a great analogy. However, it's important to note that creditor protection does vary by province, and it's not always absolute. So it's crucial to consult with a legal professional to really understand the specific rules and limitations in your jurisdiction.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's always best to seek expert advice when dealing with these complex legal and financial matters.
Oh,
But overall, it sounds like segregated funds offer a pretty comprehensive package of benefits for those seeking both growth and security.
They certainly do. They're not a one-size-fits-all solution, but with careful consideration and guidance from a qualified financial advisor, they can be a really valuable tool for achieving your financial goals and protecting your assets.
It sounds like segregated funds can be a real game changer for people who want to invest smarter and protect their money. But I imagine it can be a lot to take in, especially if you're new to this whole thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot to consider when it comes to segregated funds, different guarantee options, investment strategies, fee structures. It can definitely feel overwhelming if you're trying to navigate it all on your own.
So what would you say to someone who's listening to this and thinking, okay, this all sounds pretty interesting, but where do I even begin?
The best advice I could give is to seek out some expert guidance. A qualified financial advisor can really help you navigate all the complexities of segregated funds and see if they're the right fit for you.
Yeah, it sounds like having that personalized advice is crucial, especially when you're dealing with something as important as your financial future.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more thing that keeps coming up, and that's the fees associated with segregated funds. Are they really that much higher than other investment options?
Fees are definitely an important consideration. And it's true that segregated funds do typically have higher fees than, say, traditional mutual funds. But you got to remember, you're getting a lot more than just investment management with a segregated fund. You're also getting those valuable guarantees, the potential for creditor protection, and estate planning benefits like probate bypass. It's all about weighing the benefits against the costs and determining if the value aligns with your overall financial strategy.
So it's not just about comparing fees in isolation, but rather looking at the bigger picture
Right.
and considering the whole package of benefits that segregated funds offer.
Exactly. It's about finding that right balance between risk and reward and determining if the value proposition of segregated funds really aligns with your individual circumstances and financial goals.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've officially demystified segregated funds today. We've kind of explored how they work, busted some of those common myths, and really highlighted how they could potentially benefit a wide range of investors.
Yeah, I think we've seen that they're not just for retirees. They offer a lot of flexibility, and their unique features can make them a really valuable addition to a well-rounded financial plan.
For sure. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you'd want our listeners to walk away with?
Hmm. If there's one thing I hope you remember, it's that segregated funds offer this unique combination of growth potential and security, making them a really versatile investment option for different needs and risk tolerances. They're not a one-size-fits-all solution, but with careful consideration and guidance from a financial expert, they can be a powerful tool for achieving your financial goals.
And if you're interested in learning more about segregated funds and how they might fit into your financial plan, be sure to visit milestonsfinancialgroup.ca. Their team of experts can provide you with some personalized guidance and help you make informed decisions about your financial future.
It's always a good idea to seek professional advice when it comes to your finances. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask questions. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your financial well-being.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into segregated funds. We hope you found this exploration informative and empowering. Until next time, keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep striving to that financial success.